Good evening, heroes and heroines, and welcome to Practicing Programming in C, where we continue to do the integration of the config.c file and the cinera.c file. Apparently the config.c is modified, apparently. So what was that modified to do? Default the theme to something. I guess that was all it was, I presume. So yesterday we managed to get into a situation where all of the things that we'd tagged as AFD, we essentially surrounded these things, surrounded bits of code with an AFD, sort of an if AFD thing, so that we could concentrate on some errors and ignore others for the time being. We went through and handled all the AFDs. And we're now at a point where we've got a choice. We could either toggle on the AFE ones, which are there to do with, if I remember right, the database, printing, and forced integration. I think they're the three main things that the AFE thing is to do with. Now, one of those things is the database. Database is going to be quite a big change. It's going to require, it's going to require stuff that you need to be pretty on the ball with. Writing the new stuff out. You got to spec out what the actual new format is going to be. So I think I will try and delay that until I can actually kind of put a bunch of effort into doing the database. The other choice that we have, the thing I'm going to do, is getting rid of these guys here. Getting rid of the hard-coded credentials. So all this support icons, all this crap is going away. Categories, probably, this is all probably going to go. Ref info will probably stay. Category of, I think that just goes. This is going. What's this? Timecode owners for quote info. We are going to need that. Interlink lists on the heap. Yeah, they don't even need to be linked lists actually. They just need to be on the heap. So that was this and this thing down here. I'm not going to do that just at the moment. But it's these things: product info, category medium, and credentials. They're all going to get replaced because all these dudes are now configured in the configuration file. So I think let's just go for it. Let's just start off with the product info. I think this should be the easiest one to get rid of first, because we already have the project stuff going. We already have the notion of a current project, and the current project is one of these dudes. So the things that we already have available to us are all of these things, and the things that the project info contains are the ID. These are the things that correspond with this: ID, title, unit. This is the numbering scheme, default medium, and this is the old alt URL prefix, which we are replacing wholesale. So there's no equivalent for that in this. Wherever we see wherever we were previously using this, we would now need to change to use the output parameter set within a HTML file. Right, so you can see there we married up all of this stuff, and the only thing we're missing from here is the alt URL prefix, which we're getting rid of anyway. So let's get rid of this entirely and see what we get told about. Should we just come from the random bother and get told about the project syntax? Yeah, so where is this? This is search to buffer. current project theme length, project index. Is a string for that, then we break. So basically trying to figure out what the project index is. Okay. And then we're going to be using the project index down below, I presume. Unless we changed it all already, in which case we're fine. I'll build again. So here we go, we've got project index, project unit. So stringless project unit, text project unit, collision buffers. So yeah, all we're doing here is setting this. So delete that. So this is doing this is saying the size of this guy. So if the string length of the project unit is 0, then it'll already be 0. So that doesn't need to be any more interesting than it already is. And then we come down here. I presume we're going to be writing into the text, I assume, somewhere. So write the number there. Don't tell me that we just initialize that for nothing. Okay, copy string data down. Copying this stuff in. So project unit. So yeah, we just go through and we just sort of so let's just do the same logic again, I guess. If the number scheme is that, then we just go through, and if the number's that, replace it with that. If project unit, if it doesn't have a unit, then we just do that. So I guess, yeah, if and then that's to copy string is surely going to have to take that. Do we need a special case of various numbering schemes? Don't know. I just do not know. That might be it. Also, copy string. This is just going to be the current project. Now the thing about this initializing a new DB header, we're going to have to split this whole thing out. We need to be able to initialize a new project. separately from initializing an entirely new database. So where was that error? It was here. So yeah, I will just, we don't need this logic. All we need to do is send in the current project's title. I suppose this just applies all the way down, doesn't it? Separate out the wholesale creation of a database from the addition of a new project. That is just going to apply. Current project. So yeah, it's like this thing here is going to be this is all that a blank database needs to contain. It contains the hex signature at the start, Cinera, the database version, and the block count. And that's probably it, isn't it? Then what you do is you go over all the projects in the config, adding those fuckers. And then I guess it's worth saying we might want to establish an order in which these guys go, actually, in which the blocks go. This is something I did in Silicon. Basically, in that I made the CSRF block. I'm pretty sure I made that go first. And then I also had the universal eligibility bits. They go up there too. So those two things go up at the top. The rationale being that in those blocks, they have like a count of entries and then the entries, and that's it. There's nothing more interesting going on. After those people, I then have the authorities block. And inside the authorities block, there's like more stuff. There's a number of authorities, and then within each authority, there was a number of things. So, like, in order to like traverse past that stuff, you need to do a bit more work than you do with the other blocks. So I might have to think about how we should order these dudes in terms of easy access. And I guess in some ways it might not even matter. You could even probably just have pointers directly into the place, so you don't need to actually traverse the thing at all. I don't know. But this entries thing here is corresponding to a project at the moment. I might just change this block ID to be proj or something. So it's like the block of projects, and then inside each project they have their own entries block, possibly. I'm not sure. Well, I'm sort of getting a bit bogged down in thinking about the database here. Let's reschedule that for a little later date. So we're here in HTML to buffers. I think we want to check this earlier on. And I think it should be, it's going to have to be an error. Basically what this is doing, it's seeing if the full name is longer than the max project name length. In which case it just wouldn't have enough space to fit the project name in. So yeah, yeah, we could want it in the actual parser itself. You know, rather than letting the parser produce the string, and then us later on then performing this check after we've got the config straight all the way through to us. I think maybe, I think at the point where you resolve, when you resolve the project title, I think we just want to do that check there. I think that's what you want to do. And that's literally all this is doing, isn't it? Known projects. I think there should be no such thing as known project, because there's no. We're only going off what we've been given, aren't we? Missing project info for that. Yeah, that's so quick gander. See if there's any. Let's navigate anywhere else. So yeah, I think this lot just goes. Right, there we go. So we've got rid of the project info array. Doesn't very much to do there. What have we got next? Character medium. I think I'll do this one first, because, or second rather, because we've just done the project info. I think we'll do this one now, because the current project contains mediums. And we're already set up to sort of access those. Right, we've already got our global pointer to the current project. So wherever this is going to have to be used, we'll be able to use the current project. We'll be able to look up into the current project to get that stuff. So category medium index. I think we just don't need category medium index at all. The local media count, medium index, so that's the medium index, category medium index. So I believe this is determining whether it is a medium as opposed to a regular topic. So if it is a medium, it's going to be using the information from the category medium array. If it isn't, there should be none of that. Yeah, we don't see any highlights there at all. So all we need here, get medium from project. If we manage to get it, then we go in here and we use that medium. Strings diff LB0. And is medium isn't really the thing that we would need. Oh, actually, it's not that. It's a medium, isn't it? Actually, it's getting me different projects. Passing to the current project and the marker. Now, is that actually how that works? It takes a pointer to a string ID, okay. So we've got some stuff here. Medium and written name. Copy string. And the written name. Same deal, except changing ID for title name. Now, did I do that right? Copy string. I think that's right. And then we save again. So we still have a medium. So this is now doing something else, I assume. So the medium ID and then this is the same deal again. Medium then written name. same again. Medium index is the local medium index, right? Yeah. Category medium index, yeah. The category medium index was like the index into that array that we just got rid of. One use variable is medium. So where are we here? We're in build categories. And it's trying to find just getting the icon, isn't it? I think that's what that's doing. So it's just like, we should just be saying get medium, right? The local media category marker, we can just get that medium. And then use that information in this copy string to buffer call. I think that's all that is. Just taking a format string. So yeah. So it's taking the current project, and I think we also want to do local media category. I think we need to wrap this up, by the way. So string also, I guess local media. What is that exactly? Is that a null terminated string? Or is it an implicitly terminated one? Local media says categories. Category info. Yeah, it's not terminated. So it's implicitly terminated. Which means if we do that, and if we have got the medium for it, then we do this. Guess this has just done the right thing up here, I guess. generate topic colors. So get category medium. If we can get it, then we return no op. So it's coming in as a car. So we need to wrap this up. Who calls this? We can change this to take a string. So that we don't need to fuss too much. I think. That could then take a string, couldn't it? String I, yeah. Sorry, where was it? Okay, so that's a deletion. Generate topic colors. So yeah, it is this string topic. Seems to be right. So string to color hash. Speakers. So we've got a type for speakers. Presumably these are lengthed. Yeah. 16 speakers. That's going to be going, isn't it? Yeah, I mean we're gonna be guided by this, so let's just go for it. Username, I think we determined it's actually, because it's coming from the credentials array, it's actually null terminated, I reckon. So we'll check that. So it's a speaker credential, and it's the name, wasn't it? Yeah. So these dudes are just not terminated. So, medium exists. Valid media. Ugly ugly. Try that one more time. That's what we wanted. Print medium, print media. Do we just do that? Probably want to do that in the past, actually, don't we? Yeah, right, to have that added to list, contact me. No. Specified default medium. Not available. Valid. And also, now that I think about it. Oh no, this could use it. Yeah, it could. If medium exists, specified default medium not available. Valid media are this. Blimey. It's just name an icon, isn't it? Have we got an example? For example, 0, 3. We've got a test. Or default, maybe. Really, there's nothing else with the name default. Gosh. New Testament. Bus stop. What are we looking at here? Don't know. It's to that age. What was that? Test tube. That could do it. And I believe the one we'd actually use is the XML decimal entity. Perhaps you'd like to add a new medium in your config. A new medium to your config. Specify default medium, I guess also. Specify default medium, valid media are these. Perhaps you'd like to add a new medium to your config file. For example, medium equals this. Ah. To see who should be hidden. Interesting. Ah, yeah, dude. I think we want to add this. We want to add a hidden boolean to media. That's pretty sweet, actually. We could totally do this without too much trouble. Now, I'm kind of aware, by the way, that we've lost sight of the config_full.c file. I don't think we've really been keeping up with the changes that we've done. Handle genre theme and can't cache data. Default the theme to something. So yeah, if we look at the config_full, default the theme. Yeah, you see, we don't actually, we haven't done that. Print, what does that say? Handle genre theme. Yeah, I've done that. And then in init file, this is config.c. Did we do this one? Let's just redo all of the stuff. Init file was the thing, wasn't it? Yeah, that's not the same. So yeah, like I say, we haven't really kept up with the new stuff, which is a goddamn shame. Gotta be honest with you. Should we just try and quickly do that? Result file is equal to init path, so that needs to take many things. Take the directory of this file and the extension. That was due to the read file to buffer change, wasn't it? So actually, let's just see if even read file to buffer is at all similar to how it used to be. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Right, it's returning a buffer. Taking a file, returning a buffer. I reckon those guys are the same, but init file just isn't. So hopefully this is the only thing that isn't the same. Does that build? Doesn't build. So we don't have extend string. That's unfortunate. We probably don't wrap 0i either. Where's the config? Which line is the config.c been included on? That's been included way down on 556. Yeah. So maybe we've got in a slight tangle here in that we can't really extend string into this thing. Well, I'll tell you what. No, that's garbage. Forget that. The whole thing about this is that there's going to be, like, config full is going to be it's going to be containing more stuff than the config.c file is. So it's perfectly fine for us to just paste whatever we need into here. And go from there. Did that build? Redefinition of wrap 0. Oh, right. Alright, so now I think that's at parity with the Cinera.c file, the config.c rather. And it files working the same. Default the theme to something. I think I've thought of a name, by the way, for this thing. I think we'd call the variable origin. So the origin is going to be the ID of the project who is the most parentful project of our scope, of our tree. Or I guess the parentless, it's just a parentless project. Default the theme to something, print project, and the genre theme and colour. Right, we need to make that note. So now we were up to, that was it was the hiddenness. So let us add to config full.c, because we need to sort of proceed here. I mean, we could cheese out and if AFD this if we want to, but I think we should just get it done, because it's got to be done and it shouldn't be too tough. We basically want to add to the medium a boolean. Which will be a string. True the singleton. It's not actually here, is it? It's in scope tokens. So if it's a string, if it's a numbering scheme, so it's a numbering scheme, log level or genre. If it's an ignore privacy, I think it's just here, isn't it? If it's any of these, then we get a bool from string. And I think the default for a medium, like how do you communicate when you're pushing a medium on? I know that it will just happen to default to 0 by virtue of the fact that if it's not set, it won't be set to anything. Sorry, if it isn't set, then it will be 0 by default, which is false. That's kind of an interesting question, actually. Like, when you instantiate a medium, like when you push on a scope medium, why didn't it support? Support. So the support is looking for particular specific ones. But what I'm basically driving at is when you instantiate a medium, whatever its ID is, if the hidden field isn't set, just make sure that it's set to false. You can only know. Well, I mean, yeah, yeah, you just set it straight up. I guess maybe reset fields. Well, no, you'd need to push on, wouldn't you? When you push on, I think it's kind of here, isn't it? It's like go to a field so I didn't support. Get scope. Parent. Yeah, when you push a scope, I'm kind of inclined to say that this is where you do it. So you push the scope, then the parent becomes the new scope that you just pushed on. I think before merging the scopes in, even. you'd say push scope. Well, it's push bool pair, isn't it? If field is in spec, which it could well be. If the field is in spec. So it's going to see if that is already set to something. What is the other case for this? Nothing. So if it finds that there's an assignment, it just sets that assignment to be there. Otherwise it pushes one on. So when you're pushing on a scope, yeah, I do just feel like what you'd do is just right before there, you'd say push pair onto the parent. Which is the parent. I point to the bool pair. I think that's what you'd want to do. Config bool pair maybe. Really? Key. What was that third thing? Oh, the position. So there, yeah, there's no position, I suppose. Singleton. But yeah, then if you are to come along and have to push on a value that you've actually set yourself, then you would be fine to do that. Let's test this. This thing does print a new line. So yeah, I guess if you print a new line, if you do the print bool, I guess what you need actually is this, isn't it? So you get the new line after the print string, and then you get the bool. Medium. Oh right, yeah, and then you add that to the medium. So when you push medium, you need to be going over the bool pairs. And then this is going to be just whatever the value is, isn't it? So then if we just run the config full thing, now I'm not exactly sure why that isn't showing up as bright green. Right. What's happening here? Bool, it doesn't like. So apparently in this directory, right, the file is called config.configfull.c. What is its problem? Oh, right. Yeah, that would help, wouldn't it? Try this one more time. Still doesn't like something. Okay, so there's config full. So we're not doing anything here. If we just print the config, does this actually print anything? So yeah, we're missing something here, aren't we? Cinera.conf parse config cinera.conf. Tokenize. So it's taken the path init file. Result.path. Extend string the result of path by the file name. So the file name should just be config.cinera.config, shouldn't it? Cinera.conf. There's Cinera.conf. So should we just see who it thinks it's trying to tokenize? thinks it's supposed to be printing to Cinera.conf. So read file into buffer. What's going on in here? Result file buffer. F open. If F path. So this is set, isn't it? Right, there's Cinera.conf coming through. Again, so we're getting into here. Close that and close the handle. Okay, else let me return the results. So having done that, so we're not getting there. So if the result file buffer locations, there is no file buffer location. That is returning a buffer. And the F buffer location. We do set the result file buffer to be equal to whatever that returns. What we're missing here? It's probably that you don't do that, it's actually the result, isn't it? The result.size and the result.location and the result.pointer. That's probably what you need actually. So we need to use the file handle because that's nothing to do with us. So that's probably what you want. Now that I think about it, the way that we're doing this, result file buffer, we're passing in the result file anyway. Right, we have to be passing the file in. So why don't I just use that file's buffer directly? Yeah, that seems like a bit of a snafu. Well, not a snafu, just a bit of a brain fart. Because we're passing in the actual thing that we're going to be eventually setting. So yeah, it totally seems, doesn't it, that rather than doing any of that garbage, you read file to buffer, None of this. Right. I think that's what you want. I think possibly before I just got it a bit tangled up and I was using different things for different parts of it and just not ending up with the thing that I actually wanted. So there we go, there's our config going through. So now let's just get that going into the actual config.c file, or whoever does read into buffer actually, wherever read into buffer is. So that probably is in the config.c file. Yeah, and let's just change this. Just copy it straight over from config full. That's a bit unfortunate that I just got this bit wrong. You know, because I could have got all the way through this whole thing, not bothered to do, not bothered to test anything, because I haven't run Cinera for ages. I've done all these changes without testing. Yeah, we could have gone all the way through, run Cinera for the first time, and just see absolutely nothing happen because we're not even actually reading the files in. So I guess it's wherever we see that, we just do that. Oh yeah, that's config.c. We need to go to cinera.c, and wherever we see this, let's do record a macro. So this is delete. All right. So now, now we're back to being okay, and you can see the hiddenness has come through. Speech, hidden equals false. Print category. Print medium. So it's going to print the ID, and for some reason print bool is just not caring about that indentation. Is that what we're saying? So that's supposed to be indenting with the indentation. Are we getting multiple levels of indentation, I wonder? They're not indenting. Print string I is indenting by indentation. Print bool. Print in pair. suppose. Just do that. So, if we go back to that push scopes, the scope tokens, and we go to the medium, push scope, aha. We don't want to do it in this case. Right, isn't it? Push scope. Set the ID to Edinburgh. Yes, the fault is still coming through, but let's just say that that value is supposed to be true by default. Does that come through? It does. Perfect, so that's what we want. So then, in Cinera.conf, what we'd want to be able to say in Cinera included is this AFK dude. If we see this, then what you do is you say this. AFK hidden is equal to true. So that's perfect. That is just working absolutely beautifully, isn't it? Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is a picture of beauty. So then, when we go into Cinera.c, we can actually do that stuff. We can actually check on the if the medium is hidden, but we need to actually get this stuff into the config.c file. Right. So we need to add all the stuff while we remember it. I mean, we could actually paste the stuff, couldn't we? To be fair. Yeah, let's paste it. We don't need to test ourselves with our ability to be accurate. So there's that part of it. There's the init type specs. And this person, this is dead easy. It's just here. Right. Adding to the medium spec an ident hidden thing. And then in scope tokens, under the push scope, that's on line 23, 24. So there aren't even 23, 24 lines in this. Well, maybe there are. See how close that is. There were no scope tokens. And I think that is it. And then, like I say, like, you know, if you've already found a scope, you'll just copy that contents. It's only in the case that you're pushing a brand new medium on that you set its hiddenness to false. Also, it's worth demonstrating actually what I was saying before, which is just like, if you don't set anything, it'll default to false anyway. But I don't know. Talking about these guys up here, by the way. I sort of feel like we should do this. We should just say, we should be specific about what we want it to be. So I think we've done everything that we needed to do with the hidden. Just have a quick run through the file. Oh, we need to push the medium. Yeah, there's one. Print. Just the print, there's the push, which we just added. There's the scope tokens. Ah, yeah. The get ball from string in scope tokens. So it might be nice if, like, a field we might not need to bother too much, but it might be nice if when we push a field on here we could sort of say that even though we specify the thing as a string, although now that I come to think of it, so what are we looking at here? We're switching on the field type. So a field, yeah, we get that from the thing. If a token is identifier, so we're just going through the tokens. If it's a bare thing, then we do it like treat like that. If it's a string, then we treat it like this. But the thing is, we need to treat the ident log level, the ident genre, and this especially. Get ball from string. What do we do in this case? If it's a number, then we do that. Now, there is no case for booleans. So now that I think about it, why shouldn't there be? Because the field type is only to do with this stuff over here. It doesn't know what the incoming stuff is going to be at all. So you can just treat a boolean as if it's a string. You know, do the same procedure down here. But when we get there, when we get down to the bit where we've got that logic saying if it's this, that, or the other thing, if it's this, that, or the other, then we just get the field, get the bool string from that. I think that sounds more reasonable. So I'm going to just straight up do that. Let's stick it up above the string. Does that exist at all? That doesn't exist at all. Yeah, I mean, I could be way off base here, and I could have missed something. But I do feel like this is fine. Because all that does is set the stuff that it's supposed to be set as. Also, look what I'm doing. I'm doing it in config.c. Hang on, just bear with us. Let's back it out. Back up, back up. So that's what we've got up to. Let's do it in config.c so we can actually test this stuff first. So can I actually use this for reference? So ident hidden. Rather than being a string, it's going to be a boolean. Ignore privacy. I think also ident hidden is only appropriate in the medium anyway, so you shouldn't be able to set that. Similarly, you can't set the icon or the name up at the root scope. I think it's fine to just set it down here. Ident ignore privacy. And single browser tab mode. And I guess just for sake of argument, just stick them, sort them up there. We don't care about that. Fuck that. Okay. Unless I'm mistaken, this should just build. I don't think I've done anything weird there. Okay, brilliant. So we treat this exactly the same as a string. Well, even down to the expert token. Right. And then we just need to set up the bool pair, because that's all we care about. And then we say get bool from string. Do we not? really, I thought we need to go back up to here. Couldn't it not just find where I actually was? Now I don't believe that a bool pair is ever set in the string area anymore. Other than for the line number, so we can just ignore that. So there you have it. So that's done that. So yeah, unless I'm very much mistaken, this should just work, because it doesn't. Received medium but expected an equal sign. To received a medium but expected an equal sign. Do I need to break? So yeah, there we have it. Falseness is coming through. So everybody's coming through. That's cool. And we're no longer checking specifically on each individual like ident. Just straight up using the bool. Which is much better. By the way, the reason that we can't really set the line number up before here is because we need to have incremented past some stuff, which we expected the value. Token string. So yeah, it is a token string, but we need to actually turn it into a bool. So yeah, I think I'm satisfied that that's now what we want to be doing. Kind of feels a bit more better, a bit more good. So now we do the thing of putting it into config.c. We do not need to be, again, testing our ability to be accurate. So that happens there, and then it's in push scopes, isn't it? Oh, sorry, scope tokens. And also, I guess scope tokens also just a thing that you just wholesale copy. think that's all the changes. I think that's all we needed. So now let's just pop the config.c on this side. Let's get the Cinera.c file up and see where we're at. RC arena possibly rules. This is in config.c. Parse include rules. Why does it think that we need to be bothering about parse include rules? Sorry, RC arena full. Oh, because it returns an RC. Why were we not getting that error before though? Or were we? Maybe we were and I just didn't spot it. But now that we've done all that, we need to actually get into the config.c, need to add in the medium thing. The hiddenness. Okay, I think we're back to parity now. Did I mean to put it there? String. I do want to put it at the bottom. Yes. Just double check again that builds. That does build. So config.c. So we want to get the medium. First of all, int j. And if we can get the medium, we can just use that medium exactly as it is. So, and we know that the medium will exist because we're operating on the medium counter. This is going to be in buffers to HTML, or it's HTML to buffers actually, I think, right at the bottom of HTML to buffers. So we're looping over the media that we've actually encountered, sanitizing its marker. Then we want to get so we're going over all the mediums, the media count, media count marker. So we want to get the medium that corresponds to that medium marker. The marker is a string, kind of. It's like, I'll show you. relatively sure that's what you want. So having got the medium, we now want to say not if strings differ than mark AFK, we want to say if the medium is hidden. Right, so yeah, if it is hidden, then we medium icon base. So we need to, yeah, just double check this. Yeah, just take printf. Sorry, that won't be that. It's going to be the icon. And that, so if the marker is the default medium. So we could just say if the medium equals the current project's default medium. I reckon. Oh right, I need to wrap it. And probably also 0 I wrap, isn't it? I might just leave a note down here. I mean, I'm reasonably sure that testing this pointer against the current project's default medium, I'm reasonably sure that this should yield the correct result. But I might just leave a note just to sort of say, And also, how do I find this? It's like April Fool's Day. I think that's fine, because we're using that as our thing, aren't we, really? Change it already on a string. And it does operate on a string. Remove directory. Doesn't it not? Remove apply directory. Yeah, so that's a note there. We removed a player URL prefix copy hit. I thought we had a few of them. Maybe we did and we just got rid of it today as a part of the project info stuff. How long have we been going? We're going for 2 hours. So the final thing that we need to get rid of is just the credential, isn't it? Just bear with us a sec. I'm going to just kibosh all of this and just... Watch how I do that. So there isn't very much actually. Tell you what, let's do it. Let's do this stuff. I think. I hope. Offset landmarks, icon send owl. How is that supposed to be communicated? I wonder. I guess we'll find out, won't we? Asset index. Assets. Ah, right. Yeah, so this is going to have that. Tell you what, actually, this might be a bit more in depth. Might it did. If you think about it. Because we've got these assets here. And we're looping over... Well... wherever this guy is. Assets. Push asset. Asset index. Yeah, it might be more in depth. Because you want to be... Do you need to be disambiguating between things that will appear in the menus? Things that are going to appear in the credentials menu. I think that's the crux of it, isn't it? It's like those offset it's these dudes here, offset landmarks credits. We're basically here assuming these things. So I think the assets array might have to contain, for each asset, a little bit of information, which is essentially like, is it a support icon? I think that's what we need to know. Because if you look at the assets, we're fine to have these built-in assets. We've got all of these built-in assets here. We've got an asset types known. Generic, so it's kind of a generic, but it's sort of an asset icon. If you know what I mean. This does get into the database as well, actually, so I might need to think about this a bit more carefully. It is an image asset, like, so this asset image is like this, built-in assets. Built-in assets count. Tell you what, because this might be a bit of a rat hole here, because we have to get into the situation of handling assets. I think I'm going to go and take a break for some food and then resume this and start getting rid of the credentials, this credentials info array. I think we should do that. So one last look at the chat. Still nothing since Tuesday, which is cool. This means that we're doing rather than talking. Or I think in, like, I'm not sure if it's political terms or sociological terms, it's like we're in the sphere of like fabrication here, as in like the doing, rather than the sphere of activity, which is the talking. Because strangely enough, activity apparently is exactly talking, which kind of sounds a bit counterintuitive, doesn't it? Because you would have thought that activity is doing stuff, but it's different. Or to put it another way, you would have thought that the stuff that we're performing here, this creating this thing, you would have thought that this counts as activity, but apparently it isn't. It's not. Anyway, enough of that. We're going to get some food and then we'll resume with the credential info. So thank you very much, Heroes and Heroines, for being here, and see you in a bit.